A few days ago, the EU Parliament approved the final text of the Omnibus proposal. So after a year of constant updates and speculation, we finally have clarity on what is changing. And now that the political phase is almost closed and we wait for the councils of the EU's formal approval, it's time to think about compliance. Starting with the CSRD, the revised scope now covers EU companies with more than 1,000 employees and over 450 million euros in turnover, with the same turnover threshold applying to non-EU companies operating in the EU that have a subsidiary or a branch with more than 200 million euros in turnover. Crucially for Luxembourg, financial holding companies may be exempt when specific conditions are met, which is a very important clarification for our market. There is a transition relief for the old Wave 1 companies falling out of scope, i.e. those with fewer than 1,000 employees in the reports for financial years 2025 and 2026, as well as value chain cap, meaning reporting entities cannot request information from their value chain participants with fewer than 1,000 employees beyond what is outlined in the voluntary standards. Assurance standards are now expected by July 2027, and the text includes review clauses for both the standards and the scope. The Omnibus also amends the EU Taxonomy. Entities are now exempt from assessing taxonomy eligibility and alignment for non-financially material activities. For example, those representing less than 10% of turnover. Do no significant harm criteria have been simplified, and reporting templates have been streamlined, reducing data points by almost 70%. Finally, companies below the 450 million euro turnover threshold are no longer obliged to report on taxonomy. Turning to CSRD, the directive now applies only to companies with over 5,000 employees and 1.5 billion euros in turnover, including non-EU firms meeting the same EU turnover threshold, with no threshold in terms of employees. For franchising and licensing agreements, only companies with turnover above 275 million euros and royalties exceeding 75 million euros will remain in scope. The requirement to adopt climate transition plans has been removed, without prejudice to sectoral legislation still mandating these plans to banks and insurance companies, and there will be no EU-wide civil liability regime, though a review clause has been inserted. Due diligence follows a risk-based approach, beginning with a broader screening of reasonably accessible information on activities, with concerned SMEs explicitly protected from unnecessary information requests. Fines are capped at 3% of global turnover, and companies must comply from July 2029 following the implementation deadline of July 2028. After months of uncertainty, these adjustments finally give companies a stable framework to work with as we move into 2026. If you have questions on how the Omnibus might impact your organization, feel free to reach out to us. And of course, happy holidays!